lingering concerns over a possible worldwide recession. Chicago soy oil is trending higher, while European rapeseed is trading lower and Malaysian palm oil is mixed. The Canadian dollar is currently unchanged from Thursday's close. High temperatures in the prairies will only be slightly into the double digits Celsius on Friday and into the weekend. Precipitation, which in some parts could turn into snow, was expected as the weekend approaches. The November canola contract is up $6.40 per ton at $891.80, while the January contract is up $1.40 per ton at $877.70. In the U.S., there is recession fear-based selling action in many commodities, including corn, soybeans, and wheat. Corn futures are slightly lower Friday morning despite the International Grain Council reducing its estimated yearly global corn output by 2 million tons at 1.17 billion. Meanwhile, underwhelming U.S. corn exports, low water levels on the Mississippi River slowing down barge traffic, and lower corn prices in Brazil are all pressuring corn futures. The December corn contract is down 1 U.S. cent per bushel at $6.83. Soybean futures are also being negatively affected by low water levels on the Mississippi, as well as the positive state of Brazil's upcoming crop later this winter. While the IGC reduced its estimated yearly global output by 1 million tons to 386 million, it's higher than the previous 2 years. The USDA reported 2 flash sales this morning, 201,000 tons booked to China and 132,000 tons to unknown destinations. The November soybean contract is down 5 U.S. cents per bushel at $13.86. The IGC left the yearly global wheat output unchanged at 792 million tons, while stocks were increased by 200,000 tons at 285.8 million. The Argentinian crop has been reduced by drought, while Australia's large crop may have some quality concerns due to flooding. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said today he expects no obstacles in renewing an agreement next month to allow Ukrainian grain shipments on the Black Sea after speaking with the presidents of both Russia and Ukraine. The December Chicago wheat contract is down 8 U.S. cents per bushel at $8.42. The December Kansas City hard red wheat contract is down 11 U.S. cents per bushel at $9.39. The December Minneapolis spring wheat contract is down 6 U.S. cents per bushel at $9.57. That's a look at the ICE futures in U.S. markets for Friday, October 21st. In Winnipeg for Markets Farm, I'm Adam Pelashati.
See more and do more in a new 300 Series compact track loader from New Holland. Its industry-leading 360-degree visibility is truly something to see at Butler Farm Equipment in Fort St. John. With its reverse camera and 8-inch multi-function LCD display, Super Boom lift technology, rock-solid stability, and redesigned controls, you'll work with greater speed, safety, and precision. Maximum productivity starts with a clear view. Stop by Butler Farm Equipment in Fort St. John today and see how a new 300 Series compact track loader helps you do more.
The opinions expressed during this show do not represent those of this station. If you've missed any of this show, you can follow the podcast at energeticcity.ca. Now, an in-depth look at the news and information shaping our community. This is Moose Talks with your host, Doug Craig, on Moose FM.
Welcome to the show. Today it's a hockey-themed show as we'll be catching up with Fort St. John Senior Flyers President Paul Van Nostrand. The Flyers have played their first exhibition game already, and their first season game in 3 years starts next week. So we're going to talk a bit about his expectations for the team this year and beyond. But first, the NWJHL champion Fort St. John Huskies are in the midst of a 4-game losing streak after opening the season with 3 straight wins. To talk a bit about the first quarter or so of the season and going forward, we're joined now by Huskies head coach Todd Alexander. Todd, welcome back to Moose Talks.
Awesome. Happy to be here. Glad that my company, Old Bailey Helicopters, there was able to give me the time off, but super happy to be here and appreciate the support.
Well, thank you very much for taking some time with us. So we'll kind of start generally. We're about a month into the season. It's about a quarter over because there's about four months or so in the whole season. How you feeling about it so far?
Oh, we're doing good. I mean, every year is a different group. I know I got 16 returning guys, but you still have players that are in different roles this year than they were last year, and you also have some guys mixing in, and you know, there's lots of different things that are going on and learning lessons as we go through each situation and opportunity to have certain reps and things that we haven't seen before. So overall, super happy with my group and what we've been up to and what we've been trying to accomplish in the games. So, yeah, for us, it's just sticking to the process and making sure that we're putting the work in on the weekday before the games.
I know last year, the couple times you were here, we talked a lot about that team. And, of course, that team went undefeated during the regular season. And you talked about staying in the moment a lot. Let's not worry about the past where we hadn't lost and not worry about what this means going forward. Are you kind of preaching that again this year, given that, again, there's so many expectations on a team that went undefeated, that won the WJHL championship, that won the Alberta championship? Is kind of the spirit the same this year?
Yeah, absolutely. We do talk a lot about being neutral, and like you mentioned there, Dub, staying in the moment. It's very beneficial for our players. I mean, a lot of the pressure generally comes from ourselves, is where most of it comes from. And I know the boys are, trying to do the best that they can each and every night. But yeah, just staying neutral, not worrying about the things that we've gone by, the past games and things. Of course, we'll pull things out of there that we want to work on in practice and whatnot. But there's no panic button going on here. It's the end of the day. We've got a heck of a club. We've done a lot of good things so far in the first few games. We're a little bit snippet on the scoring end, and I know that'll come because we got some good talent there. Eventually we'll find the net. And really, we're only allowing 1.69 goals against average right now. So compared to the team that we had last year, if you want to do something like that, then we're a little bit ahead as far as the defensive play goes. But yeah, there's some things that this group needs to clean up. We need to play together a little bit better. Our structure needs to improve here going forward. And I got the group that's committed to that, and we'll get after it as we just look after the process through the season.
You find other teams are gunning for you maybe even a bit more than last year because you're the defending champs?
Yeah, I think that's been going on around here now for about 5 seasons.
Yeah.
Skip over the COVID season that we had there. But, we know we get everybody's best swing, and that's something that we pride ourselves on. You got to earn that, and we have earned that, and we want to stay earning that. And, it's a constant grind. To put that much energy into these games on the weekend and be able to be as competitive as we are each and every night, and it's something that we're proud of. But yeah, you betcha, Dub, it's it's no secret. We go into a barn and we know that team's not going to take the night off. But that's something that can help us down the road when we're playing in this many games where you're getting each and every team's best game, and it'll pay off for us at the end of the year with our consistency and how we're able to elevate our play.
Well, you touched on this already, but the offense struggling a little bit lately anyway, because you started the season with 3 straight fairly definitive wins. I think 2 were lopsided. 1 was 4-2. And then you've dropped 4 in a row, as I said, but 3 of them were only by 1 goal, and then the last one was, in a heartbreaking shootout. So it's close games you've lost recently. Can you expand a bit on why the offense is struggling, especially since you guys are still way out shooting your opponents every night?
Yeah, sometimes hockey happens. Really, we've played some games where I thought that we were the best team out on the ice, and we lost those games. And, we've played some games where I didn't think we were the best team out on the ice, and we won those games. So we don't put our attention onto the score and on the wins and losses, but rather just where are we at as a group? What are we doing to get better? Is our culture good? Yeah, you betcha. Is our effort and attitude good out on the ice for practice each and every week right now? Yeah, you bet it is. So, slumps can happen. Those are things that we can't control, but we can control, how hard we work and how we act when we get to the rink each and every night. And I think that those things are super important above and beyond just scoring some goals. And the boys are there right now. So I've been impressed how they've carried themselves through this. They understand what's going on, and it's just a little bit of adversity right now that we just got to continue to work through.
If you find with the core group, the 16 that are returning from last year, have they been overly frustrated with the way things have gone in the last 4 games?
I don't think frustrated, but again, they do put a lot of pressure on themselves.
Yeah.
And, as a constant reminder of that age group that there's just things that we can't control, and putting time and energy into those things is a waste of time and a waste of energy. And we need that time and energy to be able to put into the things that we can control so that we can continue to get better as a group. And, our guys have a pretty good understanding of that. We talk about it consistently all the time, and, we're working on our mental game, and some of the new guys haven't had as much mental training as some of the other guys have had. So, we're not quite to the point where we need to be, but we're working on it, and we'll get there. I'm very confident in that, in this group, and the leadership group that we have with the team.
Okay. I wonder how you feel you measure up then against some of the teams that, again, so far have better records. The Vipers are 9-1, I believe. Wheat Kings undefeated at 8-0. They're kind of the two top teams so far. You think this team still runs with those guys, and this is just, as we've talked about, some things out of your control right now, and everything's going to balance out before the season ends?
Oh, absolutely. We'll have our stretch, and they'll have their stretch too when they hit a patch. But we'll see how long it is for them to get through, and how long it is for us to get through it in the end of the day. But we got our end goal. We know what we got to do to get there. I got a lot of guys that have been there and have done it, not only just with the championships last year and the season before that, but also a lot of these guys that I have right now also have had success down at the tracker level as well. I got some guys in my club that, won the provincial championships there too. So as far as experience and knowledge goes of how to do things the right way and what we need to do to accomplish those goals. I got a lot of experience on this hockey club with that, and it's just a matter of time before somebody's gonna get a dirty beating here soon, Dub. You can't keep having this many opportunities, and it's not so much just the shots, but it's also like the scoring chances that we are getting. Which are high danger scoring chances, and for whatever reason they're just not seeming to fall our way right now. But we'll just keep working through that. Like I said, if there's gonna ever be a good time to go through some adversity or go through a stretch like we are right now, well, no greater than at the start of the season, because we'll get things figured out.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's look forward a bit. Lacrete this weekend. Awesome that there's a team there, another team for you guys to play. The bus ride, a little less awesome.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about that, because it's about a 7-hour ride you guys got to take to get up there for the games this weekend, eh?
Yeah, I think it'll be good, honestly, for any time that we can get out on the road and just be with the group and have that type of focus and energy just on ourselves, away from everybody. You don't have the outside distractions that you do at home when you got fans and family and everybody telling you how great you are. And sometimes those things too, even though they're positive messages towards you, they can send the wrong idea to our group. We really just have to focus on ourselves and our game, and getting out on the road like this and spending time together on the bus is always a good factor for us to be able to put the right energy into where we need to go.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any plans for, and I don't know if there are surprises for the players or not, but because you have that much time and you can see this as a bonding experience, do you have any plans for what you might do with the players on the bus? Do you think you might let them relax?
They mostly relax and hang out and enjoy each other, and those fun conversations that you have, and the goofy jokes and things like that go on that you do to kill some time. And we used to watch lots of movies on the bus, but now everybody's got a personal device where they can entertain themselves with. So, a lot of that goes on, and a lot of these guys are in different pools and stuff like that. So you can always hear the banter going back and forth between hockey and football and things like that. So it's good to get on the bus, and it's a long ride, but when you enjoy the crowd that you're with and you enjoy the time that you're spending with those people, and it doesn't ever always seem that long. If anything, it kind of seems short, and as it is a short window, it is more of a sprint. We only have a short time together, and we want to maximize the opportunity to make sure that we're getting together and being good teammates and adding to our culture, and just getting stronger that way mentally as a group.
Mm-hmm. Do you change kind of how you prepare it all, given that you've got this kind of long ride before the two games?
Not overly. I mean, our game plan is fairly straightforward each and every night, and not a lot of things change just because we're traveling down the road a little bit further. But it's just we just got to make sure that we bring our battery chargers this.
Absolutely. All right, Todd. Well, I really appreciate you making a few minutes for us this morning, and good luck in Lacrete. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, absolutely, and appreciate the time and the support that you guys put into us and the community. We've had some really good crowds here lately, and it's nice to see, and it's also great to see the club that I used to play for starting to fire up again with the Fort St. John Flyers there as well. It's a lot of guys on that hockey club that I coached before too, or my father has coached, so... And then, obviously our background of playing there, myself and my father played there, my grandfather played there, my cousin, my uncles, the list goes on and on. So it runs hand in hand in our family and in our organization, and we're real happy that they're back at it too. And it's nice to see that those guys have a place to play as well once they graduate from the program here.
Absolutely. I got to ask now, I mean, given I know how busy you are, were you at all tempted to maybe lace them up one more time, given that they're back?
Yeah, gone are those days for sure. As much as when you watch the game, you think that you'd be able to do some of those things, but the body tells the truth, and it just can't do what it used to be able to do. But yeah, the mind thinks it's all good there, but at the end of the day, you know better. But my role now is just to coach in the community. You and I were talking a little bit earlier, is coaching the U7s, coaching the U13s, and then coaching the junior team. I think that keeps me good enough, and I'll leave the physicality to the young men.
Sounds good. Todd Alexander, thanks for joining me this morning.
Awesome. Thanks, Dub.
Thank you. That's head coach of the Fort St. John Huskies, Todd Alexander. We'll be right back to talk to the president of the Fort St. John Senior Flyers Hockey Club, Paul Van Nostrand, right after this on Moose Talks.
Kev, you want your Big Mac?
No, not that box. Give me the other one. That one feels more lucky.
How can you tell?
My horoscope said the universe would smile on me today. I'm feeling a new car. Or maybe even 25 grand.
Fine, then I get to choose my fries.
Wait. Give me the fries. No, the Big Mac.
McDonald's Coast to Coast Monopoly is back, with millions of prizes and cash just waiting for you. Get playing, Canada, and feel the thrill. While supplies last, chances of winning change as prizes are claimed. See rules at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada or at mcdpromotion.ca.
When our friends and loved ones are sick, we do anything to show our support. Check in, help out. Drug addiction shouldn't be different. It's a medical condition, not a choice. But too often, we don't know what to do, what to say, and that makes it harder for people to reach out and ask for help. Stop the stigma around drug addiction. Learn how to make the connection and have the conversation at stopoverdosebc.ca. A message from the Government of British Columbia.
We all look forward to the summer months here in Fort St. John, but warm weather season also means construction season. The City of Fort St. John reminds residents that the city crews and contractors are working throughout the city on capital projects, repairing potholes, sweeping streets, and more. Please slow down in construction zones, obey all traffic control people and signage. Find alternative routes if possible. Let's all enjoy summer in Fort St. John safely. For full details, visit fortstjohn.ca.
Upgrade your hunting gear at Backcountry. They're excited to announce they now carry everything Stone Glacier has to offer. Stop into Backcountry and check out their lineup of Stone Glacier sleeping bags, performance apparel, and top-of-the-line packs. Stone Glacier is the lightest, most durable gear using only the toughest technical materials available. It's made for hunting. So top up or upgrade your hunting gear today at Backcountry, where we help you enjoy the great outdoors. Visit backcountryfsj.com.
Watch this show live on Facebook or download the podcast at energeticcity.ca.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Dub Craig. Now we're going to keep the hockey talk going with the president of the Fort St. John Senior Flyers Hockey Club. He's here to talk about their season, which basically started last night. Regular season starts next weekend. It's their first season in 3 years. So Paul Van Nostrand, welcome back to Moose Talks. Thanks for being here this morning.
Thank you very much for the invitation, Warren. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I'm grateful to be here. I know you were here was it even 2 months ago to say, hey, we're coming back. It's going to be awesome. You're excited then. How excited are you now that it's actually it's here, it's happening?
Oh, it's great. I know just getting on the bus last night to travel to Dawson and, having our training camp the last 3 weeks and seeing the enthusiasm, and it's just great. Yeah, it's been a long 3.5 years, that's for sure.
I know when you were here last, you were talking, we talked a bit about recruitment, and I don't remember the number you threw out there, but you had said you had been making calls to some people to see who would be interested in playing. I wonder how that went. I mean, obviously we have a team, so it went that well, but how many players were coming out to training camp? Was it busy?
We had well over 30 players,
Awesome.
approaching 40 for our training camp over the last 3 weeks. We had 5 ice times over the last 3 weeks, and the turnout's been great. So just there were a couple of guys who had confirmed during the summer that they'd be able to play, but then things changed in their world and they're extra busy at work or something else. So that's typical of senior hockey. So,
Yeah.
but we still had sufficient numbers, and it'd be some tough work for the coaching staff to pare it down to what we can carry.
And I suppose that's sort of next for them is after there's a game tomorrow night here against Dawson Creek. And then, as I said, the regular season starts on the 29th in Spirit River, if I remember right. So in between, I guess, then and then, they're going to make their cuts, and that'll be the final roster, eh?
Yep, the coaching staff will work on releases over the next while, and the game last night and the game coming up on Saturday will be a real good opportunity for the coaching staff and our general manager to have a look at the players under pressure and just see how they perform and make some decisions.
How did the game go last night, by the way? First game in 3 years with the Flyers uniforms on, eh?
It was great. Yeah, we hadn't played since March of 2019, so yeah, and we had played Dawson Creek in the final at the Koi Cup at that time. But the game was great. We got out to a 2-0 lead, and then they tied it up and went ahead, and we tied it up and ended up losing 4-3. And it was really, I was very impressed with how well our guys played. Our goaltenders were terrific, and just really enthusiastic about getting going again.
I wonder if you could speak to the mood of the league, because, of course, you've been with several meetings with the other teams and sort of the league management. You were at the vote, I assume, again, or part of the vote anyway, that decided on the 20-game schedule. Everyone must be really excited to just be back in action, eh?
Yeah, there is as I've probably overused the word enthusiasm, but there is a lot of enthusiasm among the teams in the league. And, of course, we have a new franchise, and Valley View was in the league several years ago, but then had a hiatus for quite a few years, and then Spirit River's back after about 5 years away. Of course, all the teams were out of commission, or the league was out of commission basically for 2 years anyway. So no, it's great, and there's a lot of interest. I know in Fort St. John for sure. Like a lot of people I know and bump into are very encouraged about getting going, and we've got a new executive too with the North Peace Hockey League, and they've implemented a few positive changes, and so yeah, it's going to be good.
Okay. Let's look forward then. I mean, we've got the game tomorrow night. The season opener is in Spirit River, but then November 5th, you'll actually have your home opener here in town. You touched on already, people excited. You thinking this is going to be a full barn for a couple of these games to get you started?
I'm really not just sure where it's going to be. I think we're going to have a great crowd. There is a lot of buzz about the team coming back, and so thankfully we have a good complement of volunteers, and we'll be able to handle whatever the crowd brings. So yeah, we're hoping for a great turnout.
Excellent. Was there any concern about that being not a problem, but a challenge that you hadn't played in 3 years, so getting people back out might be difficult? Or did you think, we haven't played in 3 years, everyone's going to be so happy to have senior hockey to watch again?
Well, I think that's what's happening is people around the world have been cooped up quite a bit the last couple of years, and now with the Huskies and their successes and the Flyers coming back and other things that are there seems to be an increase in attendance for a number of things, and so we're hoping that's reflected in our hockey games. So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then it might be too early to say because we've only kind of seen the one game so far, but I just wonder if you can comment a bit about how you think the Flyers are going to measure up against the rest of the league. You think they got a good season ahead of them, or you're just happy to be back and kind of how it goes will be how it goes? Can you comment on that?
There's a little bit of both. We haven't set our sights so high, and perhaps unrealistically high after being away for 3.5 years. But, the Flyers have a strong history for over 60 years of competing, and, the players every year know that and give it everything they've got. And I think we'll be right up there with everybody else. Of course, we haven't seen anybody else, but that's what we're anticipating, that we'll be okay.
Excellent. All right, well, tell us a bit about Saturday night's game for people to come out and see it. What time's it at? What do they got to do to be a part of it?
Well, puck drop is at 7:30, so the gates will be open at 6:30. Pre-game warm-up is at 7, and just come on down to the North Peace Arena. You can't beat the price. Adults $10, kids and seniors $5. And I think you'll be pleased with what you see on the ice.
Excellent. And are those going to be the kind of the tickets for the whole season then, or is that the exhibition?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. That's the standard North Peace Hockey League pricing, and things do change a little bit at playoff time, but by and large, that's typical of everywhere in the league. So,
Excellent. All right, Paul. Well, I'm really glad you came by to talk to us about this. I'm very excited to see this team back in action, and I'm excited to have you on a couple more times this year to talk about how the season's going. So, thanks for being here today, Paul.
Thank you, Warren. I look forward to chatting with you again. Thank you.
Absolutely. That's Paul Van Nostrand, the president of the Fort St. John Senior Flyers Hockey Club. We'll be right back to wrap things up right after this on Moose Talks.
Mom, this new iPad is so much faster than my old one.
Oh, is that right?
Totally. I told you I needed a new one. Plus, the screen was all cracked. Thanks, Mom.
You bought her a new iPad?
No, I got the screen fixed at Micro Consulting. She just thinks it's new.
Ah, well played, Mom. Up top. With Micro Consulting, you don't need to get a new iPad every time the screen cracks. It's much cheaper to come to Micro and get it fixed properly. Micro Consulting Sales and Service, keeping you connected on 100th Street and on Facebook.
Dave and Jacqueline from BC Hydro here. It's pizza night.
Yum! All this dough reminds me that a clean electricity heat pump can save you dough on your heating costs when you switch from a gas furnace.
So no matter how you slice it, we've got up to $11,000 in rebates to help you save even more.
And not to get cheesy, but they're efficient and cleaner than gas furnaces too.
Speaking of gas, pizza always makes...
Dave! It's a heat pump analogy.
Right, heat pumps, sorry. Switch and save at bchydro.com/clean.
Brad's Furniture and Appliances Hit the Mark is back. Starting October 17th. Listen weekdays from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. for your chance to win cold, hard cash. All you have to do is guess a number from 1 to 100. If you get it right, you win the money. If not, we'll add another $10 to the pot. Track the numbers at moosefm.ca/contests to zero in on the money. Brad's Furniture and Appliances Hit the Mark is powered by Grimes Well Servicing Limited, Micro Consulting, Carter's Jewelers, Rhythm Auction, Chances FSJ.
Attention, code lunch, code lunch. Cool Beans Cafe is open again at the Fort St. John Hospital.
They have different hours and a limited menu, but they still have the same great quality and taste that you've come to know and love. Open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call your order in ahead of time at 250-261-6648, and they'll meet you at the door with freshly made deliciousness. Cool Beans Cafe. Follow them on Facebook for more info.
Our community first. This is Moose Talks with Dub Craig on Moose FM.
Our thanks to our guests today, Todd Alexander and Paul Van Nostrand, for joining me To hear previous episodes of this show, you can check out the energeticcity.ca podcast page. You can also check out episodes of our other podcasts, including Voices of the Peace, where host Ted Sloan talks to local community members about what makes them tick. Before the Peace, a podcast launched to highlight Indigenous voices in the Peace region and northeast of BC. And Secrets of the North, a new podcast all about true crime and mystery stories in northeast BC. Visit energeticcity.ca/podcasts today. That's our show. Trey Lopashinsky is the producer of Moose Talks, with studio production by Jordan Prentice. I'm Dub Craig. Be well.
Join us next Friday at 10 a.m. for another episode of Moose Talks, a weekly talk show about Fort St. John and the North Peace. Not handing